Hey guys, my name is Cearra. I'm a teen services specialist at the Loft at Imaginon, as well as a graduate student at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. After viewing the website diversebooks.org, I was inspired and pulled to create a book talk that really highlighted and focused on the stories of young women of color. In these titles that I'm going to share with you, you'll be able to relate to the characters no matter your background. You'll celebrate their highs with them, and you might even need a Kleenex when they go through their lows. I'm so excited to get into these titles, so without further ado, let's get this book talk going. Be sure you have your library cards handy, so by the end of the video, you can check out one of these amazing titles. In this first title, Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson, readers are able to hop on a time machine and are taken back to the 1960s and 70s to meet a young Jacqueline. Readers get to experience life with her as she grows up into starkly different environments, New York and South Carolina, as a young Black girl. Woodson uses poetry to share the story of her upbringing. During this time, there were stark differences between these two regions. You have to think that this was during a time of heavy segregation in the civil rights movement. It's her experiences on her travels, especially those travels to the South, that really leave her oftentimes feeling conflicted, and they really shape her view of herself and also of the world. Some of the major themes that are discussed in this book are the effects of racism, family relationships. We see relationships grow and blossom, and then we also see them fall apart. Budding friendships, self-awareness, and personal growth. Each poem is emotional, but powerful and easy to read. While dealing with the effects of the Jim Crow era and the civil rights movement, Woodson finds her voice. No matter the hardship or the obstacle she faced in her upbringing, she overcomes them. Her story shows readers that you do not have to be a victim of your circumstances, but if you put your mind to achieving your goals, any dream is obtainable. One of these poems in particular is entitled Each World, and it reads as follows. When there are many worlds, you can choose the one you walk into each day. You can imagine yourself brilliant as your sister, slower moving, quiet, and as thoughtful as your older brother, or filled with the hiccuping joy and laughter of the baby in the family. You can imagine yourself a mother now, climbing onto a bus at nightfall, turning to wave goodbye to your children, watching the world of South Carolina disappear behind you. When there are many worlds, love can wrap itself around you, you say. Don't cry. Say you are as good as anyone. Say keep remembering me. And you know, even as the world explodes around you, that you are loved. Each day, a new world opens itself up to you. And all the worlds you are, Ohio and Greenville, Woodson and Irby, Gunner's child and Jack's daughter, Jehovah's Witness and non-believer, listener and writer, Jackie and Jacqueline, gather into one world called you, where you decide what each world and each story and each ending will finally be. This biography is the perfect book for preteens and teens alike. This is also a good book for parents to read alongside with their children because the poems lend themselves easily to great conversations on history and one's personal journey. Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson is an easy but powerful read. This next title can only be described as an emotional roller coaster. In American Street by E.B. Zaboy, readers meet Fabiola, who is a Haitian American teen that has spent most of her life being raised in Haiti with her mother. At the start of the book, we get to go on the journey of Fabiola and her mother immigrating to Detroit to be with Fabiola's mother's sister, so her aunt, and her cousins. But things take a turn when Fabiola's mother is detained at customs. This is truly heartbreaking, and we experience the heartbreak of a mother and a child being separated with each other. And immediately after that, Fabiola has to immerse herself into this new world, this new culture that is bleak. It's nothing like what she's used to. So in this book, readers are introduced to Fabiola's melting pot of a family. The family could be considered a melting pot because each of them is very different, but they work together to tell this beautiful story. Fabiola's cousins have the biggest influence on her life in the New World, and their personal stories teach the readers many valuable lessons, from self-acceptance to healthy relationships. Every reader will be able to relate to at least one of the characters and will truly find parallels between Fabiola's family stories and their own. The major themes in this book include immigration, family relationships, overcoming hardships and heartbreak, self-acceptance, and the importance of cultivating safe spaces. This book is an easy but powerful and perfect read. So that is American Street by Ibi Zoboi. The last book on this quick list of titles highlighting the stories of young women of color is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. In this book, readers are introduced to Star Jackson, a teenager that is trying her best to navigate between two worlds. These worlds collide after Star witnesses the death of her childhood friend by the hands of the police. This book is a journey for readers and mirrors the many current events that are taking place in our society today. Readers are able to experience the trauma Star endures after losing her friend and the pain that she feels as she tries to hold it all together. The events in her life affect the friendship she has at her school and her current relationship, and also the relationship she has with those in the neighborhood that she grew up in. This book shows readers how obstacles in life can really pull together a community to support, and also how they can tear a community apart. The major themes in this book are police brutality, the strengthening and demise of interpersonal relationships, code switching, racism and prejudice, activism, and personal growth. The Hate U Give is an emotional but powerful read. Readers might need a Kleenex by the end of this book, but you will finish it feeling empowered to make a change in your community. The book is perfect for teens and their families. This book was also made into a movie, so be sure you check that out after you give this book a read. The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. Okay, friends, those are the 3 titles that highlight and showcase the stories of young women of color. In Brown Girl Dreamin' by Jacqueline Woodson, readers go on a journey back to the 1960s and 70s to experience her childhood through poetry. In American Street by Ibi Zoboi, readers meet Fabiola and get a front row view of her life dealing with immigration and being immersed into a completely new culture. And last but not least, readers are able to experience the trauma and aftermath of police brutality with Star Jackson in The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. Each of these books eloquently tells a different story of a young woman. Each book is easy to read and is perfect for teens from all backgrounds. Thank you for taking the time to view this book talk, and I hope that you visit your nearest library soon and check one of these titles out. Thank you.